Esiva, this is GF Laserbolt from GamerFusion.com, and welcome to the review for the Razer Ripsaw, the first capture card ever made by Razer. And boy, when this was announced, I was super excited not only to see what they would come up with, but if the capture card was good enough to handle and compete with the rest of the capture cards. And today I'm going to let you guys know if that is the case or if that is not the case. So let's go ahead and get started with the cosmetics and the ergonomics of the capture card. Pretty much the capture card is the majority, all captures look the same. They're almost always squared. One thing I do want to pinpoint on this capture card that I do love, and I did mention it on my boxing, is the fact that there's not that much of a glossy feel to the top, especially if you're going to be going to events. And since it's so compact, you're able to carry this with you, move it up and around, and you're able to move this with you. It's nice to know that you're not going to be leaving a lot of fingerprints on the capture card, especially if you're conscious of that issue. I like the fact that it also comes with a nice glossy finish all around, and I'm going to give you guys an idea and overall look on what this looks like compared to other capture cards, so you guys can get an idea of the size of the capture card. So first and foremost, you guys are familiar with AverMedia. You're going to know they have a capture card, which is the Live Gamer Portable. You can get an idea and a sense of how that looks like compared to as far as lengthwise. And I'm going to give you guys a overall look of what it looks like compared to a Elgato H60 Pebble. So that's pretty much what that looks like. So you guys can get an idea of how big the size difference is when you compare these. Now, if I flip these sideways, you guys could get an idea of the thickness on this capture card itself. So that's pretty much gives you guys an overall general idea of what the capture card and how big it is if you guys are trying to purchase this. Definitely a very good card to have if you're going to be going to a lot of events, if you're going to be going to, kind of like esports events, and you guys want to record gameplay or any type of footage. Definitely really good, especially if you guys are going to your friend's house or whatnot. So overall, let's talk a little bit more about what the card does and how it performs. So one of the first things I want to let you know, guys, that I'm very picky when it comes to cable organization. That's pretty much when you guys have stuff on your desk, you're going to want to make sure it looks organized and neat. One thing I do like about this capture card is that all the components are on the back. So for example, you can plug in your component, the power cable, which is the USB 3.0. You can plug HDMI in, HDMI out, or you could actually plug in a component cable. Now, the cool thing about this is once you guys set this down on your desk, all the cables won't be facing you. Usually, sometimes capture cards have a cable that goes plugged here or on the side. You got that on neat feature within those capture cards. So I do like the fact that this capture card has all the components you're able to plug in on the back, on the rear end, giving you a nice look and clean look, especially if you're going to be putting this on your desk and having it on the go. Another cool thing I like about this capture card is it gives you the ability to not only plug in audio device. Let's say you're streaming and you want to go ahead and put in some music. You're definitely able to plug in any type of 3.5 jack. You plug your cell phone, iPad, or anything that you have that plays music. You go ahead and plug that in there, and it will automatically stream or output any type of audio that you have playing out through there. You're also able to plug in a mic to have that, be able to record your audio within the capture card. So it makes it really, really cool. One thing I do want to point out as well is that a lot of people don't mention this, but I like the fact that it comes with a nice padded finish on the bottom. The reason is because this lets the capture card kind of lift up a little bit from your desk. Why is this important and why is this relevant? Is because sometimes, these components, if you're playing for a long period of time, let's say you're streaming for 8 hours, 5 hours, these are going to tend to heat up a little bit. And having that, kind of lift off the desk lets the air flow a little bit in here and not keep the card so hot where, you could burn a component or it could go malfunctioning. So very, very cool capture card. Another cool thing is once this capture card is lit up, it turns on and it gives you a nice green color here, letting you know that the card is currently on or enabled. So let's talk a little bit about the components and how the capture card works and what we could expect out of the capture card when it comes to actually streaming. Is there zero latency? Is there USB 3.0? And that's what we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the specs and what we could expect. Spec-wise, this card is very, very easy to install and to get started with the product. All you gotta do, I'm gonna use a code, all you gotta do is plug and play. Pretty much plug in the USB port, Put it, plug in your HDMI in, HDMI, pretty much you guys know HDMI means anything that's coming from whatever console you're trying to record. HDMI will go out to your TV, plug in the USB 3.0, plug it into your PC, and boom, you are ready to go. Your computer will automatically pick that up, and you'll have the software installed. It's great because it currently keeps your product up to date. I can't emphasize how important it is to keep your capture card up to date. One cool thing I like so far of the Razer product is they are keeping their card up to date, sending different drivers, and keeping that constant. Another cool feature about the card spec-wise is it comes with USB 3.0. So now, why is this important? Why is this even relevant? So, this card is very predominant in the sense of being the first ever capture card to have USB 3.0 and provide zero latency when you're using the product. So, what does that mean? Okay, so if you guys know, there's USB 2.0 and then USB 3.0. I'm just going to give you guys a quick difference of what happens. So if you have a USB 2.0 product and you're trying to, transmit whatever you see from your TV or from your console and then to your capture card, the rate that transmits or that passes through is called latency. So you have whatever you have from your console to your capture card. USB 3.0 only has a certain amount of range that it could put that signal towards your capture card, and then from your capture card, from your console to your capture card. USB 3.0 allows you to transmit that even more of a distance, giving you the advantage of whatever you see on your console, you'll see on your capture card and transmit it to your audience. Now, this capture card is great. I mean, extremely great for anybody that's trying to live stream. If you're looking for a capture card, that's going to be very good for you. If you're trying to live stream or get your live stream going, this is the card to go with. Basically, this card comes not only with the ability to allow you to plug in your mic and start recording, plug in any type of music device and start, transmitting that as well, but also it works with XSplit and it works with OBS. You guys, if you guys are into streaming, you guys are already familiar with these products. They come with very nice features, and this capture card allows you to actually enhance that product or enhance the XSplit and OBS and transmit and output through this device. Now, why is this card so beneficial if you're trying to say, well, I could always get an internal capture card or, there's other capture cards out there. What makes this capture card totally different than any other card? The biggest difference between this card and any other additional card, first of all, foremost, is the USB 3.0. Yes, there are a couple cards that have USB 3.0 features, but this one gives you zero latency. Another cool thing about this capture card is if you have a laptop and you're trying to run your setup through a laptop, you're not going to be able to plug in an internal, capture card into your PC. This capture card allows you to not only have that feature to plug it with your laptop, but it also gives you the feature of taking it to the go in case you're going to any sort of event. Now, the card doesn't come with a specific software. If you guys are familiar with Elgato or AverMedia, they come with a software that allows you to actually record gameplay when you're not streaming. You can definitely go ahead and record that. This capture doesn't come with one. It allows you to take advantage of XSplit and OBS internal recording if you guys want to go ahead and record off screen. So it makes it really cool to use, especially if you guys are familiar with XSplit and OBS. You're able to take advantage of those features. And that is pretty much the gist of this card itself. I am extremely happy with the quality of streaming with this card. You're able to stream 1080p, 60 frames per second, zero latency. The biggest problem we have currently with the capture cards that are currently available in the market is sometimes you got to sync your audio, your mic audio with the capture card. You got to put a delay on it, for them to actually sound right. As opposed to this capture card, whatever you're speaking or whatever you're saying while you're playing, your audience is going to hear that in sync. It's not going to be off sync because that is what the capture card is meant to do. It's meant to sync your audio, your commentary with the gameplay so you don't have that latency or disparity of the audio and the mic itself. Overall, in general, I would give this card a 9 out of 10 and definitely a worthy component to have in your arsenal when streaming or when going to events. If you're wondering, the price point on this capture card is $179.99 at the Razer product. I'll leave a link down below in the description, so you guys can definitely click on that if you guys are looking to purchase one. If you guys have any additional questions regarding the Razer Ripsaw to kind of figure out if this is the capture card for you, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be more than happy to answer those. And don't forget, guys, for all things Razer related, head over to GamerFusion.com, where we empower your gaming.